Hello there. All right, I'm making this video as a kind of review, recap resource for one of my students who's playing this version of All I Want for Christmas Is You by Mariah and Carey in an upcoming recital, but posting it online for her and for anybody else who might benefit from this video. All right, so we're going to break this down into a few different sections. First, we're going to start with an instrumental intro. And I'm going to place the positions on the left hand on G and B, and then G and C. The right hand will be positioned on notes just above middle C, D, E, F sharp, G, and A. All right, and the first measure is going to go left hand G, B, right hand D, F sharp, G, F sharp, D, left hand B. And to note, this is just arpeggiating a G major 7 chord. G, B, and D are the notes of a G chord. F sharp is the major 7th, and G is just the octave. So again, that's second measure. We're just going to change that B on the left hand to C and go G, C, D, right up to the G, and then we're going to double hit, or we're going to hit 2 notes in unison. The D above middle C and the D below middle C. And put it together. G, B, D, F sharp, G, F sharp, D, B, then G, C, D, G, Ds. One more time without talking. All right, work on that so you feel comfortable, but that is section number 1. Section number 2, we're going to break this down into 2 little sections. It's 4 measures, but it's something that's played over a G chord and then something that's played over a C to a C minor chord. And this is the hint at the melody that's to come in the main verse. And keep in mind, we can be free with how we play this, but it's written very straight. And I'll show you a couple different ways that you can add a little spice and flavor to it. So to start it off, the notes that we're going to play, we're back in that same position that we just were in. And it's going to be left hand G, B, right hand D, F sharp, G, F sharp, E, D. You can play that straight as 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and, or you can add a little syncopation, which is 1, 2, 1 and 2 and So we get some 16th notes involved in there. The follow-up measure, I'm going to bring in my first harmony with my left hand in a G chord. Remember, it's G, B, and D. And here I'm going to play a G over B. So I'm going to play a B and a G. And respond to it with the right hand playing A, G, G, F sharp, G, F sharp, E, D. So the harmony and the right hand response, double G, F sharp, G, F sharp, E, D. Straight how it's written. And with a little bit of flair. So we put those 2 G parts together. Measure 1. Or straight time. Whichever way you want to play it. Then we get to the next half of this section, which is a C chord. So the left hand is going to play C and E in harmony. In the right hand, we're going to get into the C position where I play a C chord with the thumb on C, index on E, middle on G. That's a C chord. Above that, I'm going to play an A and a B with all 5 of my fingers on my right hand. So this part, we're going to start with the harmony and go up, C, E, G, A, B, A, G, E. And this is the first time they really introduce 16th notes in here. It goes 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. But we can add a little flair to it by Actually, I like how it sounds. By adding a couple extra 16th notes. And then the next chord is C minor over E flat. Well, we know a C chord is C, E, and G, and a C minor is C, E flat, and G. But when it says over E flat, that means E flat's going to be the bassiest note. So we're just going to play in here the E flat and the G together. And this will be the first time that we're going to have to change hand positions in the middle of a measure. So I'm going to go right hand, starting on B with the ring finger. B, D, B, A, G. That's how it ended on the first finger, but the middle finger played A before. I'm going to come back to A, but use my ring finger this time. So I can play A, G, and then free up my fingers to hit E flat and D. So I hit the chord with the left hand, E flat and G. Right hand, B, D, B, A, G. Switch fingers, A, G, E flat, D. Without me talking. So we put those two C parts together. We got the C major, C minor over E flat, without me talking. And you glue those two parts together. So just to recap, that is the G, G over B, C major, C minor over E flat. And that is section number 2. Section number 3 is the teaser of the chorus. And this is going to have a couple chord switches. So we'll talk about the left hand first. It's a G over D. And remember, we know a G chord is G, B, and D. Well, here we're just going to play D and B with the left hand. D and B. And the next chord we're going to switch to is going to be the F sharp and the A at the tail end of the measure. So it'll have a 1, 2, 3, 4. And then the melody that's going to go with it will sound really familiar, and it's a really cool exercise to play. So I'm going to be back in that G position, except for this time on the E note I might use my thumb because I'm going to have to play an E flat in here, and it's easier to reach it with a finger. So here I might go G and B with the left hand, and I'm going to play a G with the right hand, so that completes the G chord. I'm going to go up a second, down a third, up a second, down a third, up a second, and down a sharpened third, or down a flatted second, however you want to look at it. But it's going to go G, A, F sharp, G, E natural, F sharp, E flat. And when I hit that E flat, that's where I bring in that F sharp and A harmony. And here's how it'll work. G, A, F sharp, G, E, F sharp, E flat. Do it without talking. With a little flair. Second part of that, our left hand is going to play an E minor harmony, which is E minor is E, G, and B, but I'm just going to play the E and the G. And I'll follow that up with a C minor 6 over E flat, which we know means, hey, if it's over E flat's going to be our lowest note, and my harmony notes are just going to be G natural and A natural. Sounds kind of funky on its own, but it sounds good with the melody. So I'm going to play that E and G harmony. And so I'm going to start on B with the right hand. B, A, G, G, F sharp, G, and I'm going to go to this E flat with that harmony of E flat, G, and A. So that's the E minor. One more time. And with a little flair. even have so much flair there. But I put it together. Think of that line as its own little section. It's kind of cool. It's the I just want you for my own, more than you could ever know part. So I got my starting chord. Then the very next section that we're going to go on to it is to make my wish come true. All I want for Christmas is you. Left hand is going to play that D and that B again. So it's a G over D chord again. But right hand, it's going to play the melody of D, E natural, G natural, up to a high G. We'll put that together. This is kind of half the measure. This could be tricky, so I use thumb, index, middle, pinky, but you could do index, thumb, index, pinky, however it helps you reach that high note so you can hit between the 2 octaves of D. Find a way that works for you. But then our next harmony is very interesting. It's an E major, so it's E and G sharp together. And I'm just going to harmonize that on the right hand with that D note down to a C. So I put it together. One more time. Very dramatic here if you want with the feel. And then we get the all I want for Christmas is you part. And here I'm going to harmonize C and A together, which is an A minor 7 over C. And we get the melody in there. And I'm going to play the B, 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 A, G, E. My next harmony is going to be a D with a C and an E flat with the right hand. And I'm going to do a little run up of E flat, A, B, and then A, G. With that harmony. So put it together again. B, A, G, E, switch the harmony. E flat, A, B, A, G. Put that all together. Got my first harmony, the D and the B together. E, E and the G sharp together. And then the C and the A together on the left hand. Right hand, A, or B, A, G, E. D and C with the left hand. E flat with the right hand. E flat, A, B, A, G. Play it without talking. All right, we'll call that section number 3 or 4 at that point. All right, then we get to the main body of the song. In the main body of the song, we're going to play just some chords to get us into the song. Now, the way it's written in this book is triplets on these, but we're going to start with just quarter note pulses, which is going to be a G over B chord. So I got a B with the left hand, D and G with the right hand. I was going to go 4 times. 1, 2, 3, 4. Then it's an E minor over B, so I'm going to have an E and a G with the right hand, and still keep the B with the left hand, so really my thumb just moves. So I go from the G over B, 1, 2, 3, 4, to the E minor over B. And then it's just a straight up C chord, so my left hand's going to bring in a C note instead of a B this time. Still have the E and the G with the right hand. 2, 3, 4. And then I'm going to pulse on some Ds, those D octaves. 1 and 2, a 3, a 4. It's got a little swing feel, so it's not 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, but we'll make it bounce with some short long notes. 1, a 2, a 3, a 4. So I put those pulses together, I got the G over B. 1, 2, 3, 4, E minor over B, 2, 3, 4, C, 2, 3, 4, Ds. Now, the book calls for triplets, but you can try them out. So I triplet every single one of those pulses and go triplet, 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 1, a 2, a 3, a 4. Or you could try something where you go back and forth between them. Do some kind of mix and match, but to keep it simple, I like the pulses. They work really well. All right, then we get to the very next section, which is the main verse and melody. Now this is twice as long as it was in the intro, but it's no more complicated. Actually, it might be a little bit simpler, a little more straightforward. So it starts with G chord. I don't want a lot for Christmas. There's just one thing I need. And it's the same thing we saw with the G chord before. Left hand, G, B. Right hand, D, F sharp, G, F sharp, E, D. Play a straight time. Straight. Add a little funk and syncopation. And then my response to that is then I'm going to harmonize that G and the B with the left hand as I hit an A with the right hand. Now the book actually calls for a G here, so we would go 3 G's in a row on the right hand. And that's G, 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 wait, G, 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 F sharp, G, F sharp, E, D. But I kind of like starting with the A, so I'll put that in these notes here, which is going to go A, G, G, F sharp, G, F sharp, E, D. Add a little spice to it, and it'll sound like this. So put those 2 G's together. That's going to take us over to our C chord. Really easy now. There's no harmonies with the left hand. We're just going to go right from a C, and when we go to the C minor over E flat, we're just going to hit the E flat note. That's what they call for in the book, so let's do it. All right, so we're going to set up our C position for the first time. Actually, this is our second time, but I'll show you how it works when we flex to the parallel minor from C to C minor. And it's going to go right hand C, E, G, A, and B. When I go to the C minor, I'm just going to flatten the E to E flat and the high note B to B flat. C, E flat, A, G, B flat. And then on the descent, instead of playing G natural, I'll flex the middle finger over to F. So C, C minor. There's that flex of the middle finger over to F. So for the C major, it's just C, E, G, A, B, A, G, E. And then the C minor, C, E flat, G, A, B flat, A, F, E flat. Put the root notes with it and it flows really nicely. Add a little pizzazz to it. Cool, and that's half of that verse. So again, to recap, we're going to start by arpeggiating the G chord. Harmonize. Then when we get to the second half, remember how we started with the arpeggio of the G chord? This time we're going to start with the harmony of the G chord and an A on top. So G and B on the left hand, A on top, and add a little, actually add a little spice to this one. So it's going to go, I don't need to hang my stockings. It's A, G, G, F sharp, G, F sharp, E, D. Kind of familiar. And then we arpeggiate the G chord, G, B, D, F sharp, G, F sharp, E, D. Put those together. Start with the harmony. And the C part, well, we just hit the C note here. We're going to go high when I hit the B and respond with it. B, A, G, E. Bring in the E flat with the left hand, E flat with the right. This is a good example of why I should stay in this position. So I'm going to go B, A, G, E with the pointer finger, so that way when I go to the C minor, I'm going to hit my C with the right hand. F natural to E flat. To put that section together, here's my G's. Arpeggiate. So play it one more time. Arpeggiate up. And that completes the second half of the main verse. Go back and review whatever you need to at this point. But now we're going to move on to the chorus, the actual chorus. So it's going to be just like it was in the intro. Very similar, maybe a couple different harmonies. If you feel comfortable using the same left-hand harmonies from the intro, go for it. It's still going to sound good. But we'll use the ones that they use in the book here. So when it uses the G chord, instead of being G over B in this part, it's just going to be G and then this B. Melody is the same as we saw before, which is G, A, F sharp, G, E natural, F sharp. And then when I get to this E flat, my harmony, instead of being F sharp and A, is going to be B and F sharp. So it's really like a B5 chord, B power chord with the left hand. So that would sound like this. One more time. And then this time when I get to the E minor chord, instead of going up to this B, I'm just going to use the same melody that we did in the G chord. But E and G is my harmony this time. And the right hand is, again, G, A, F sharp, G, E natural, F sharp. And then this time when I go to this E flat, my harmony is going to be on the right hand with C, the C, middle C below it. And left hand will just hit E flat. A little different than last time, almost a little easier. So in that section we got the G, G and B with the left hand. And then the E minor. And one more time without me talking. Time so I can play a little more fluidly. Nice, and we're almost there. Next section is the Make My Wish Come True part again. Play this one a little more straight. And it's going to be that D and B that we saw before. We've seen this right hand pattern before, except for this time, instead of responding, I'm going to play that D with the left hand harmony and go D, E, G, high D, and then left hand is going to play that E and G sharp E major harmony, but instead of just going D, C this time, I'm going to go C, D, C. So all together that's going to sound like. Pretty cool, I like that part. Oops. And then we're going to follow up that E for the tail end of the measure with baby, which is just C to D on the right hand. So do it again. From the G. Then we get to the All I Want for Christmas. And it's a big dramatic hold out here. Our harmony this time is going to be A down here and G. And then we're going to raise it up to a D and a C. So it's actually the same hand shape. So just picking up and dropping your hand. You keep your fingers in the same spot. Okay, so the A over G. Right hand's going to play B, A, G, E natural. Left hand switches that position to D and C. And we bring in that E flat with the right hand. Up to an A. That's our dramatic move there. So we got that A and G left hand. B, A, G, E, D and C left hand. E flat, A. Without talking. One more time. And we hold that out for like an additional measure, dramatic pause. Then we're going to have this run that's just going to go D, E, G, A, B, A. And the first four notes when I'm playing was eighth notes with the D bass note in the left hand. So D in the left hand, D in the right hand, D, E, G, A. And when I get up to the B, I'll hit the C with the left hand. And then down to the A. So it's going to go. Slow it down. A little faster. And maybe a little faster. No, we don't need to play it that fast. Keep it pretty even throughout the song, if you can. And then there's that dramatic pause, and we're going to get to the outro. So we'll call this the outro part. So this is the first part of the outro, and really our pattern is just going from G to E to an A minor 9, but that's really just going to be our A and G together, and then a D. So we got G, E, then we got A over G, or the A minor 9, and then D, 2, 3, 4, so it's G, 2, 3, 4, E, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4 on the D. That's what it's written as in here. So we'll work with that. To start off that section, on beat 2 of the G, I'm going to hit a B and a G on the right hand way up here. So I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. When I get to this A and G harmony in the left hand, then I'm going to position myself for my main 4 notes that are going to be part of this, which are G, A, B, and D. And here it's B, D, B. And when I get to the D note here on the left hand, I'm going to bring in a harmony, which is what they call for, which is F sharp and B, and F sharp and A. Now this one calls for a little syncopation, so it's 1, 2, and 3, 4. 1, 2, and 3, 4. So those 2 chords together. Together in that section, and it's 1, 2, 3, 4 to the E, 1, 2, 3, A and G, 1, 2, 3, and then the D's, 1, 2, and 3, 4. Now the next part's going to be a repeat, and it's got similar themes, but it's calling to play a G and a B in harmony with the melody of B, A, G, A, then an E minor, E and G in harmony with the left hand, which is going to be then B, G with the right hand. Then we're bringing this A. Same harmony before, A and G with the left hand, B, D, B. And then this time it doesn't call for the F sharp in the harmony when we play this D note, but we'll still pulse in the D. It's B, A with the right hand. Then you just repeat, except for the last, and then we'll have a different ending to it, which is going to be G and B with the left hand. Right hand is B, A, G, A. Left hand, E and G. B, G with the right hand. A and G with the left hand. B with the right hand. D, B, and then pulsing the D with the left hand. Right hand is A, B, or B. Sorry, I might have said it backwards before. B, A. And then at the tail end, it's calling for a harmony of G, B, D, and give it a little sweep. Or sorry, G, B, and G. You want to throw the D in there, you can. Sounds pretty cool. So that whole repeat outro section, where you actually bring in that G harmony is, oops, I want to pulse it, but then at the tail end you can throw in something like, if I played it right, or you can do a some familiar Christmas melody. All right, so there you have it. That is how to play All I Want for Christmas Is You. Have fun with it, and come back, see me for some more. And Hannah, best to you in the recital. Can't wait to see you play.